Sorry, just the last few settings there on my side that I just did. Oh, I see the whole of the Hawkers Atlantic team sitting there. Look at you guys. Oh my word. Why aren't you walking on the beach or, or coming down the mountain with a paraglider or something? Oh, hello everyone. Great, great, great to see you guys. Okay, so the pressure is on. I got to be on my best behavior this morning. Goal setting, strategy, and planning. I know that we have spoken about this so many times, but I don't think that there's a more relevant topic about our business that we can speak about this morning on the 17th of January, start of a new year, than around our goal setting, our strategy, and business planning and planning. So, guys, I know that this is a thing that there are so many views and takes on this, and I think as I've been with Harcourts for quite a number of years and have engaged with agents and business owners over all this time, one of the things that one often hears is that our days and our weeks are so unpredictable, with things that just come at us from all different angles every single day, that it's extremely difficult to plan and to structure. And I'm convinced that that is how you feel, and that is our reality, right? It is our reality. We can never predict what today or tomorrow is going to hold. I find the same. I have certain things planned for a day that I really need, that I really know I need to focus on, and that's kind of my one thing for the day. But then things just come at you unexpected. It's WhatsApps, it's emails, it's phone calls, and before you know it, your day is turned upside down. And because of that, many of our industry professionals in the real estate industry shy away from planning because they just don't feel, but what's it's not worth to put in the effort to strategize and to plan, because it never works out that way. I'm almost wasting my time to strategize and to plan and to set goals. And one can understand the frustration that one has, but that is not the way to go. And I think that you'll agree with me that if we look at any successful individual in our industry in real estate, there is not one top agent that doesn't take the time to strategize in the business, to set goals, to plan really well. If we don't do that, then we will just fly by the seat of our pants, and we will most definitely not achieve the success in our industry, in our business, that we can and that we aspire to, and we will not live the life that we want to live. We will not be able to find that balance in our lives between having a professional life in real estate and also having balance in our personal life to spend time with family and friends and health and all those great things. So the critical importance of identifying our goals, knowing what we want to achieve, and really just going after it with a clear strategy and a clear plan, that is critically important. And that's what we're just going to unpack today. So I'm going to re-emphasize that point many times, because it is just so important. There is not one of us that doesn't want to have a successful business. That's why we are here today, to run a successful business and to have a quality life and to live life. I mean, we are not living just to work, right? We have so many amazing things that we want to do. We want to just enjoy life, whatever that might be for you. And we gotta aspire to that, and we gotta go after those dreams that we have. So the question that I have, first of all, for you today is, in your mind, as you are sitting there today in January of this new year, are you clear on your purpose and why you are in this business, why you are in this industry? And I think that that is something that we need to be very clear on. Sorry, guys, I'm just admitting more people into the meeting. Let's just mute your microphones, please. Oh my word! Quickly here, just muting all new participants. But I think when we get up on a Monday morning and we go into a new week, or as we are now embarking on a new calendar year, that burning, that fire that burns inside of us, that why we do what we do every day, that is surely the thing that drives us forward. That is surely the thing that energizes us every day to say, this is why I am doing what I'm doing. This is why I'm in real estate. This is why I'm an estate agent or a property professional. This is why I am a top administrator. This is my purpose. Because I think if we do it for the money, then we might get stuck because money in itself is not a real motivator. And we know that we are in the service industry, right? We know that we work with people, we serve people. We are there to help people find their dream property, sell their property. We are matchmakers. That is our purpose. And I really just want to encourage you um, to to connect with your why, with your purpose every single day. As we woke up to say, yes, game on, this is what I want to do today. I want to give the very, very, very best service to my clients today. Also, are you clear on why you need and want to earn the money? We're talking about purpose on one hand, but then we're talking about the financial aspect of what is required for you to live the life that you want to live. If we talk about budgeting, if you unpack your monthly finances and you know what the amount of money is that you need just to meet your monthly expenses, but all the things that you also want to do, that you add on that, what could that be for you? And what is it that you want to do to with the money that you earn? Why do you need and want to earn the money? Guys, and I just want to start with that before we get into the nuts and bolts of goal setting, strategizing, and planning, because it really starts, don't you think, with our mindset, with everything that goes on inside our mind. If our mind is not in the right place and our mind is not clear and focused, then almost anything else that we do will fall flat. We can do all the planning that we want to do, but so often that plan just then goes into the bottom drawer. We take an hour or so and we write things down and we set our goals. But how often does that plan end up in the bottom drawer because our mind is not in the right place? We haven't really identified why is it that I'm doing what I'm doing, and why do I need and want to earn the money? So just take some time over the next few days and okay, as a side note, obviously I have no idea where you sit right now in terms of your planning. Maybe in the chat box, if you want, you can say if I put a question to you, have you sat down at the end of last year or even now early this year and started writing your goals and your strategy and your plans down for 2024? Is it a yes or a no? You can just put that into the chat box. um, because I know that many of you are already clear on your goals and your strategies and your plans for 2024, and some of you are still in the process of getting that ready, and some haven't even started to do that. So there's no right or wrong. It's just you can just put in the chat box where you are at the moment in terms of your planning. Now, I want to say to those that have a plan already for 2024, great going, fantastic, guys, and we're all going to get there. Now, if we look back on 2023, obviously it was a challenging year in all areas, and we understand all the reasons why the market has been challenging in 2023. And it will, in all likelihood, continue in 2024 for the most part. And I know all your areas are different, and the different areas are affected in different ways by the market dynamics and the economy and consumer confidence, etc., etc. But I think here's something important that we just need to say. Thomas Jefferson said the following: if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. And I think often the sacrifices that are required to achieve at the highest level in our industry that you aspire to are sometimes too big a stretch for some of us. The sacrifices, the effort that you have to put in, etc., etc. So, I mean, I dream big dreams, and there are so many things that I've never had that I would love to do. And I have to ask myself the question, but am I doing something that I've never done before? Am I going to the next level? Am I putting in a much bigger effort to achieve that? Because surely we cannot do in 2024 what we did in 2023 or 2022. Times are times are moving on. There are so many changes taking place in our industry. We have to stay abreast of new technology. We have to stay on the cutting edge of additions into our industry, and we constantly, right, have to look at things that we've never done before to achieve at that level. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. So that is just something that I want to leave with you from Thomas Jefferson. And I want to encourage you to give that some serious thought and to ask yourself, what is that for you? What is that for you? Now, we all know these guys. We love them. We admire them. They are our champions of the 2023 Rugby World Cup. And we all know that they had a massive goal, and their massive goal was to become the world champs, right? They became the world champs. They defended their title, and we are so proud of them. And there's no question, not one of us can say today, we know for a fact that that whole rugby, the whole squad, from Rassie and Jock to every single player, they had clear strategies and clear plans that they needed to execute to achieve that goal to become the world champions. And it's no different for us in our businesses, right? You have, as you are sitting there, as I'm sitting here, we all have such incredible potential, and there is such incredible opportunity out there. Even though the market has been challenging in 2023, properties were still selling. Yes, the market was down, but properties were still selling. And we just needed to be there when our clients need us. And we need to be focused and driven, right? So, and that is why if we have certain goals, we just gotta go after them and strategize and plan really, really well and be the best that we can be. You're all familiar with the fact that our industry can be very up and down, and the income is like a roller coaster. It can be very, very up and down. And for most individuals, it is very up and down. And that discourages a lot of people in our industry, especially new people that join the industry. Um, the fact that your income is not consistent, that puts a lot of people out of the industry because they just shy away from the fact that it's so up and down. But guys, there are ways that we can avoid the real estate roller coaster. And that is by having passion, by having commitment, by working with a clear plan and being consistent. Consistency. I'm sure that you can see the bottom of the screen there. How do we avoid the real estate roller coaster? With our passion, with our drive, with our sense of purpose, with our commitment, our hard work, our planning, and our consistency. Now, I want to leave the thought also with you that remember, our plan is like a roadmap. We are going to be journeying through 2024 from now, the 17th of January, until the end of this year. And we are going to be on a nice, long, windy road over the next 12 months. And it will be a stressful venture. It will be a stressful journey. But we want to make it as enjoyable and as manageable for ourselves as much as we can, right? So the focus should not be, the focus should not be so much on the destination that we want to reach at the end of the year, or eventually those goals that we want to achieve. Yes, we know where we're going. we want to drive from, let's say, Cape Town up to the Zim Falls this year, and it's going to be a long journey. So I know where I'm going. That is my destination, but it's about the journey. It's about the journey that we're on and this process that we're on. And we want to map that journey. We want to plan the journey. We cannot go on this long road trip if we haven't planned the trip well, right? I mean, if whenever we go on a holiday, all the things that need to fall in place, it's visas, it's your flight arrangements, your hotel bookings, what are you going to do, etc., etc. To have a good successful holiday, we have to plan it, and we got to know that our plan is our roadmap. Are we going to divert, maybe take a side road, or get off the road at some points that were unexpected? Surely we are, because things happen. We will get a flat tire, and things will happen on the road that are unexpected. But at least we have a roadmap. We know where we're going, and that is our plan. That is what we're going to have for this year. And Benjamin Franklin also said, remember, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. There is just no question about it. So hopefully, I'm starting to sell again to any of those of you that are sitting here today and joining in this conversation, that are wondering, oh, is it worth the effort to strategize and to plan? It absolutely is. There's another one with a little bit of a woordjie daarso. Setting goals without a plan is basically you just talking beep to yourself. So setting goals without a plan, it cannot work. You can only achieve your goals if you set a plan. So again, it's your life and it's your business. It's my life, it's my business. But guys, we got to take ownership of it. And I want to encourage you. Again, I know that many of you listening in today are on fire. You are in control of your business. I know what you are doing. I see what you're doing every day on social media, and just massive respect for what you guys are doing. So you're taking ownership. But if you are in a position where you feel I'm just not getting there, with the things that I'm dreaming of about in my life, and my business is not there where I want it to be, I want to encourage you to get serious, to get serious about your life and what you want to achieve in life, and to take really ownership. No one else is going to do it for us, right? We work in an incredible organization where there are so many people that are there to help us, to assist us, to take us by the hand, to give us some guidance, whatever the case might be. So we are not alone, but we have to take ownership and get serious about what we want to get out of our life and out of business. So what I want to then move towards is the resources that we have available in Harcourts that will assist you to create that structure, to identify what are the things that I want to achieve in 2024 and beyond, to set my goals, to identify my strategic focus areas, to make plans, to identify those daily and weekly actions and activities that I need to do to be able to achieve what I aspire and what I set out to do. So on the Harcourts Hub, you have that main menu, and on the main menu, you have the resources section. And if you click on resources, it will take you to the document library. You will see the document library. That's where you go and you look for agent tools once you've clicked on the document library. Under agent tools, when you click in there, it will take you to planners and planning. You can click on planners and planning, and that is where you will find many different resources that I really want to encourage you to have a look at again. I'm sure that you've had a look at them, and many of you are making use of different resources that are available there. Some of them are, let's call them annual business planning resources. And then some of them are for your weekly activities or even your daily planners or your time blocking, etc., etc. So can I encourage you over the next few days just to work through those resources again and see what is available and see if you can make them part of your business, to create that structure, to create that roadmap, and to create that focus that you need to be able to achieve at the highest level this year. And if there's anything that you need that is not there, or anything that I can send you, please let me know, and I will email them to you, or we can just add them onto the Harcourts Hub. We are constantly adding more documents onto the hub. So if you maybe go back onto the hub in 2 or 3 weeks from now, you will find more documents and different documentation. So that is where you will find that. Now, if we start to look at our goals for 2024, I'm sure that in your mind you are quite clear on what your goals are for the year. And if I speak about goals, these are not only my business goals, these are different goals for my entire life. Because to be to be successful in business, I need to be mentally healthy, physically healthy to be able to achieve in my business, right? So your goals will be many things, but I've just listed mainly some business goals on the right that I just want to mention to you. And these are the type of things that you might want to take and add in your business plan for 2024 and identify exactly what each of these should be for you to be able to achieve your goals. So just on our business side, obviously you need to know, and you know what you need to earn, right? What your income goal is and what your income goal should be and what you want that to be. So you will identify that. That will be your income goal. Now, to be able to achieve that, you need to make certain number of sales in 2024. So that is your sales number of sales that you need to do. You need to write a certain number of mandates to be able to sell a certain number of properties. Um, you also need to know what your desired commission percentage should be, because that is so important in determining your income. Um, yeah, that directly affects and determines your income, because your commission percentage can make a massive difference. So identify what your commission percentage should be in 2024. Now, we also know that we often share a lot with other agents. I'm not speaking about sharing in the office, but with outside agents. I'm talking about you having the mandate, they might have a buyer. Anytime that we share, we give money away. Yes, I know this is a big conversation, and I know that many of you work very closely with the agencies in your area, and that works great for you. And I don't for one moment say stop. I don't say you should stop that. But all I'm saying is that the less we have to share with others, the more money in our pocket. That's all I'm trying to say. So a goal is maybe to share less commission with other agents. Um, Everything that we're talking about here, our income goal, the number of sales, the number of managers that I write, that is directly related to the number of weekly client meetings that I have. And we're going to look at that just now in a moment, what I mean by that. But I should ideally be clear in my mind on the number of client engagements that I need to have every single week, whether it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 1 or whatever the number is those client meetings lead to mandates, the mandate leads to sales, and the sales lead to income. So everything starts with a client meeting, right? And I break it down to the number of client meetings that I need to have every single week. Also, for you in your specialist farming area, that area where you are working hard to entrench yourself and to get known as the agent of choice, the go-to agent, what is your desired market share that you are working towards? What is that percentage of market share that you want to write? If you look back on 20, if you look, if we're going to be speaking in a year from now and we look back on 2024, what would you like to say was your market share in your specialist area in the past 12 months? Be clear on that and know the number of properties, what the number of sales that would mean for you to achieve that market share. If it means that if for you to achieve 10% market share in your farming area and I need to do 20 sales to achieve 10% market share, then I know 20 sales in 2024 is going to be 10%. I'm clear on that. I know what I want to achieve and I go for it. I go for it because now I can start to make plans. I can start to strategize and I can start to make my plans. Many of you aspire to either have a platinum status in Harcourts. I'm talking about a quarterly status and an annual status. You know that we have our quarterly awards. It's coming up now in March. And there we have platinum, gold, silver, and bronze statuses. So every quarter has a certain amount associated to it. And at the end of the financial year, we have agents that are then also platinum status agents for the whole year, or gold status for the whole year, and silver and bronze, and so it goes on. So also look at that and maybe identify that as a goal to say, sure, this in the next year, I really, really, really want to go for platinum status, or I really want to go for gold or for silver or whatever that is for you. Maybe you want to become a top 20 agent in South Africa. Know what that would mean in gross commission income and have that as a goal and work towards that. Or maybe you want to be a top 50 agent or a top 100 agent. Remember, if you're a top 100 agent in Harcourts in South Africa, you're in the top 10% of agents in the country because we are more than 1,000 agents. So to be in the top 10%, that really, really is fantastic. So maybe also look at that as a goal for you. I'm just going to take a sip of my water. Guys, obviously daily satisfaction should be a goal, because that's going to be speaking about my mindset, my positivity, my optimism, my attitude, all those things. So maybe look at that as setting that as a goal for yourself. And any other thing that you can think of. I know there are so many, but identify the goals that you want to set for yourself and be clear on that, write it down, have it in your business plan. Just very quickly, on the Harcourts Hub, under that resources, under planning that I just showed you, there are different resources. There's one in a Word document, there are Excel documents that you can use to do your income to activity breakdown. It starts with your income goal and you break it down to your client meeting goal. And in there, you have your number of sales, you have your number of mandates, and your client meetings that you have to have in the next 12 months. So I want to really encourage you to, if you haven't done it yet, consider using those resources to make it easy for yourself to know, what am I in for? If I want to earn so much, what does it mean for me in terms of client meetings every single week? Right. Now, just in terms of um, strategy and planning, we know that that is part of the structure that we create in our business, right? If we look at the performance matrix that you see on the screen, and we know that the different elements of the performance matrix are your structure that we have in the bottom right-hand corner, and that then consists of many things, but it really speaks about the strategic focus areas in your business, the goals that you have, the plans and the action, and all of that, guys, drives clarity for you. You are clear now on what you want to achieve. I think so often, if we don't plan well and if we don't strategize well, and we just have the things in our minds and our heads become so full and it becomes so just exhausting to think of all the things and to have it in my mind. And many times I just forget about things. I forget things that I needed to do, and I'm not nearly as focused and driven as I should be and as I want to be. So structure that creates that clarity for you is critically important for you to achieve the success in 2024 that you aspire. It requires discipline. It requires of you to sit down every month to create your plan for the month. It requires of you to sit every week for an hour to create your plan for the week. It requires of you to spend half an hour a day to plan your day, or an hour a day to plan your day. So it's not just something that happens. It demands you to be disciplined and to create those habits of planning every day, planning every week, planning every month, planning every quarter, planning every year. It has different elements that will give you clarity, that will bring you closer to your success. So that is where structure sits, also together with mindset and skill set, but we will talk about that just now. I see that the clock is ticking. It is already 4 minutes past 11, so let's move on. Now, different strategic focus areas in our business consist of those big rocks that we know play a massive part in our business. And I want you to And I want to encourage you to consider these big strategic focus areas, to identify them and ask yourself, what, which of these do I want to focus? Do I want to put real focus on in the next 3 to 6 months and in 2024? And then take those strategic focus areas and unpack them in daily and weekly action activities, and unpack them. And we will look at that. So here we have strategic focus areas like planning, prospecting and lead generation, bringing new listings into your business, which is critically important, and then servicing those mandates, right? Giving those sellers excellent, fantastic client service, and selling the property. So that is all listing and servicing mandates. That is a critically important strategic focus area. Working with my buyers or my tenants. What are all the different aspects and the elements for me to give outstanding service to my buyers and my tenants? My personal promotion, a strategic focus area. What does that mean for me? Where do I want to take my personal promotion in 2024? And what do I need to do? I saw the Hogwarts Atlantic team sitting there, and I'm just thinking of Josh Parsons that sends out the newsletter every week. I receive his newsletter every week. That is part of him building his brand, the Camps Bay Guy, his personal promotion, um, elevating his profile as the go-to agent. That's a strategic focus area. It takes serious focus, serious discipline to do that every single week, to create the content, to put it together, to send it out to your database. Guys, and remember, we need to pull people into our business to achieve these things. We cannot do it by ourselves. So think, who are there that can help you with different things in your business? And then skills development, strategic focus area. We need to keep learning. We need to keep growing, sharpening the saw. That's also part of learning, but that's also looking after myself, looking after my mental wellness, looking after my physical wellness. I need to stay healthy to be able to perform at the highest level. Right. So let's move on. In the in that section on the Harcourts Hub, where you have all the planning resources, you will see different documents that allow you to identify your strategies, your strategic focus areas, and then your tasks and your plans and your action. Now, this doesn't allow much space to unpack it. Guys, this is just a very basic resource. Please make it your own. Use as many pages as you need in your business plan to unpack your strategies and your tasks and your plans and your actions. But we also need to remember less is more. We cannot, Rome wasn't built in one day. We cannot do everything in the next month. We need to identify those most critical and crucial strategic focus areas that are going to make the biggest difference in your business in the next quarter between now and the end of March. Maybe that's a time to focus on and say, what will make the biggest difference for me in my business in the next 3 months? And you identify that and you unpack what you need to do to be able to achieve at the highest possible level between now and the end of March. Yes, you have your roadmap, you have your goals, what you want to achieve in 2024, but then you bring it back, you zone it in and say, right, those are my big plans, my high level plans, but for the next 3 months, this is what I need to do. So as we can see, strategizing and planning has different levels, right? Different levels. You have your big overarching plan, but then you have your 90-day plan. But I'm laboring the point. I know that you hear what I'm saying. Sorry, guys, I can get carried away a little bit. Um, Prospect lead generation, we already said that is very, very, very important in your business. You need to be clear on what are your actions going to be, your daily and your weekly actions to prospect and to generate leads. Guys, phone calls, WhatsApps, building relationships with your homeowners in your farming area, past clients, um, social media marketing, you name it. There are so many things that we can do to prospect and generate leads. Critical strategic focus area. But now you need to go and sit and just unpack, what do I need to do every day, every week to drive my prospecting and my lead generation? Another strategic focus area, as we said, is listing and servicing mandates. That has many, many different aspects, but for you to grow, for you to get to the next level in listing and servicing mandates, you might need to look at scripts and dialogues to improve your skill in delivering yourself to your client in terms of what you say, the dialogue that you have. Look at your Harcourt's promise, your service, your feedback. How is that? Is that where you want it to be? Your for sale board, your banners, it's everything that's out in the marketplace. Your marketing, your advertising. What is that like? Can you be better? What different can you do in 2024 than what you did in 2023 and before in terms of your marketing and your advertising? What is your listing presentation and your listing material like? Is that the best that it can be? What improvements do you need to make? Surely there are improvements that you can make on your listing presentation and your listing material to give the very best experience to your seller when you sit with them and when you present with them, present to them. Your listing process, what is that like? So, I mean, you guys get the idea. All the different elements that of a strategic focus area we can unpack, and we can identify those areas that we need to pay special attention to and make action plans, because now we need to make plans and action them. Action. Nothing will happen if we don't action them, right? We will just, it will just be a pie in the sky. Working with my buyers, the same thing. There are many different things that we can look at to improve my work with my buyers. My personal promotion, how are we going to do it? Who is going to do it? What are we going to do, and when are we going to do it? So we just unpack our personal promotion. Please take the time. Please take the time over the next few days, for the next week. Let's say for the remainder of whatever, if it needs to be for the next week or 2 weeks, that you unpack all of this, take the time and really become clear on all of that. Now, we spoke a lot about structure and creating, identifying those strategic focus areas and making plans, etc. But I want to encourage you guys, my dear friends and colleagues, to look after yourself in terms of your mindset. Put in the work. Put in the work. Take the time. If it means that you have to meditate or pray or spend time on the beach every morning or in the mountains and just or sorry and or watch fantastic podcasts or conversations on real estate or business or entrepreneurship, etc., just so that we can be in that right frame of mind, that we can have a positive mindset, that we can believe in ourselves, because self-belief is so critically important, right? So do whatever you need to do to feed your mind every single day with the right content. And also with that, we need to say no to all the things that drag us down. Isn't that so? All the things that really just drain our energy, that make us negative. Try and cut that out. Try and cut that out as much as we can. And let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on the good things. And let's just almost be like a racehorse with these oogklappe, where you just focus on this race that you're going to run now, and you are blocking out all the things that distract you. Our skill set, also critically important for us to put in the work to grow every single day, to learn this week, next week. What are your plans? Where do you want to grow? What do you want to learn? Where do you want to improve your knowledge? So those are all just very important strategic focus areas that you want to look at in your business. Now, when we just zone down into almost like weekly activity, we've spoken about the importance of time blocking so many times. But for those of you that are listening to this today for the first time, that are not familiar with the term time blocking, guys, it is to create to look at my week ahead. So today's Wednesday. I am already starting to look towards next week. You know, my diary is starting to fill out for next week, the week after that. I know that your weeks are very, very busy. What is your how do you block your time every single week? Where do you make time for walking, for going to the gym, for exercising? Where do you make time for your prospecting and your lead generation every week? Block out that time. That's a meeting with yourself. It is a critically important meeting where you have an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day to prospect and to generate leads. Nothing should come in the way of that prospecting and lead generation. And you should block out that time, guys. I mean, Cape Town needs to, no, okay, let me not say something terrible, but something terrible needs to happen for you to, oh, I'm sounding very dramatic now, but for something to come in the way of your prospecting and your lead generation. Your reds are your meetings, so you put your time, you block your time where you're going to have meetings, and that those are obviously also non-negotiables. Nothing should come in the way of a meeting. And then you have your time block where you allow for your work with your sellers, your buyers, or your landlords and your tenants, and you block out that time. So in this case, you have an example where this agent blocked out time on a Wednesday from 9:30 till late afternoon, where I have the whole day available to work with buyers and sellers. So that's next Wednesday. And between now and next Wednesday, that time will fill up. But a week before, I've already blocked out the time. I know next Wednesday I want to allow myself to work my buyers and my sellers. And as we can see, as it starts to fill out, here I have a buyer and Mrs. Mayer to view a property. That's then on Tuesday. So we fill it out. And then we also have other activities like family, hockey at school, Absa Sharks. You guys to get the idea. Our time is up. That is weekly time blocking. And it's just so important to understand the difference between urgency and importance. And that is sometimes where we get stuck, right? Because what feels urgent right now is seldom important. But those things that are important seldom feels urgent. And that's where we sometimes get it mixed up. We pay attention to the things that scream loud at us, the urgent things, and they are not always the important things. As we said previously, the prospecting, the lead generation, the exercise, the looking after ourselves, those are the important things. Nothing urgent should come in the way. Those are the important things. If I can just maybe leave this with you as an idea, urgent, not urgent, important, not important. The urgent and important, do them first. The urgent and the urgent and important, do them first. The urgent and not important, try to delegate them. Interruptions, meeting activities, if there's a possibility to delegate. If it's not urgent, not important, maybe consider not doing it at all. Those are time wasters. They might be trivial, but if something is important but not urgent, schedule it, plan it, do it a little bit later. But prioritize tasks. There's a very, very interesting website I can maybe just show you very quickly. Okay, let's not go there then. Right, let's rather move on. Our time is up, guys. Let's remember that you don't get results by focusing on results. Yes, we have identified our goals. Let's call those our results. But now we get results by focusing on the habits and the behaviors that produce the results. Yes, we've identified where we want to go, what our goals are, but now we got to focus on the habits and the behaviors that produce results. And if you have identified, if you have written down your actions, your activities that you know that you need to do daily or weekly as part of a strategic focus area, that will bring you the results that you're looking for. And we need to make time to measure our progress. Can I encourage you, by the end of March, you look back on the first quarter of 2024 and you ask yourself, how did I do in relation to the plans that I've set out for myself, the strategy that I've identified, and you measure yourself. But we cannot measure ourselves if we didn't identify where we want to go in the first quarter of 2024, right? I mean, that makes sense. So we can only measure what we have identified and specified. If we have no plan, if we have no written down goals, we can't measure anything. So that's the important thing. And do you know of any business, any successful business that doesn't measure how they have done in relation to the strategies and their plans and their goals? So that is just very, very important, that what we need to do. Another measuring tool is our big rocks that you guys can have a look at. I'm not going to spend any time on that. That is also a resource, and we can speak about that at some other time. But guys, just in closing, we're going to say it again. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, said, "We don't rise to our goals. We rise or fall to the level of our systems and habits." But again, that requires your passion, that requires your commitment, and that requires your discipline and your effort, yours and mine. I mean, this is still it's a daily. I don't want to use the word struggle, right? But it's a daily effort, it's daily commitment to do these things, to implement our systems and our habits. We got to trust the process. Trust the process, and you will achieve in 2024 that you aspire to. So I want to wish you all of the very best, guys, for 2024. Thank you for taking the time this morning. I am so sorry that I did all the talking and I didn't allow you to say one word. But no, there's not one person that interrupted me. Not interrupted, but that wanted to, that wanted to add in. Um, but sure, we are such an amazing team. I'm so proud to be a fellow Harcourts team member with you. And we have big plans for 2024. We are meeting next week. We have a great strategy workshop coming up as part of the head office team. And we are just continuing to really bring amazing things into Harcourts. And remember, we are here to help you in any way we possibly can. But let's be focused. Let's go for it, guys. And together as one team, we're going to shoot the lights out in 2024. No matter the market, no matter the conditions around us, if it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. And let's just do it. So I wish you all the best with your goal setting, with your strategizing and your planning, not only now for 2024, but as you are on your journey throughout this year. Look after yourself. Thanks you for your time. Sorry for going over 5 minutes, but thank you very, very much for joining today. Look after yourself. Cheers, guys.